Chris Jenkins with Sharp Vibe, and today is my day after thought on the Carolina Panthers versus the Arizona Cardinals. Something that I do each week. Got out of the habit of doing these first 2 weeks, but it's here now for the rest of the season. This is the point where I share a little bit more thoughts on the game the day before, and I'm going to go over three things today. One is a burning topic about Cam Newton. Will he return to his starting position if once he is healthy? Uh, Another thing is I was excited to see some big plays returning to this team, something we haven't seen in a while. Saw a couple of those yesterday. And then lastly, Donte Jackson. Is he a high risk, high reward kind of guy? So let's just go ahead and get into it. First topic. Will Cam Newton return to being a starter once he is healthy? So today the Carolina Panthers announced that Cam Newton will not start in week 4 versus the Texans. He was asked about whether or not Cam Newton would travel. Could not answer whether or not he was travel, said that that's really something that's more related to his rehab. And I got something that I just discovered I'm going to share with you all as well. But here's my thoughts on Cam Newton. If Kyle Allen continues to play like he played yesterday, week 3 versus the Arizona Cardinals, 4 touchdowns, you can't bench that guy. You just can't do it. Because here's the thing, that this can quickly become Kyle's team because, number one, Kyle has gotten a lot of reps with the first team starters in the preseason, training camp, and even now as a starter. And Cam just has not gotten that many reps. And that's something valuable, especially if this guy, again, if he's playing hot like he did in week 3 versus the Cardinals, how can you sit that guy? Now, here's the other part of it. What if Kyle Allen plays well, but not exceptional? Meaning, he wins games, but he's not throwing 4 TDs, no interceptions, and just having outstanding games. I think if he does that he's just good, solid, we win some games, that Cam Newton does deserve the right as a starter to come back into this to this team and become your starter. I give him 2 games. If he does not perform, like if he performs after coming back for 2 games like he did the first 2 games of the season, Kyle Allen returns. All right, so here we go. I'm going to sum this up for you again. If Kyle Allen plays lights out again, then it's his team. If Kyle Allen plays good, solid, respectable football, you give Cam Newton a chance to return. He's earned that. You give him 2 games. If he does well, you keep him. If he doesn't, you go back to Kyle Allen because, again, you give it to Kyle if he does exceptional because he's been doing so well. All right, so enough of that. But actually, let me go to something about Cam not traveling, right? I think this is a little petty to a little extent, but I got to share this with you guys because this just shows how popular of a guy Cam Newton is. And I think if everybody could just take a step back, whether you like him or you hate him, you got to admit this guy's every single move gets put under the microscope. And I think this one's a little funny. I saw this on Twitter just a moment ago. I'm going to see if I can play this for you guys. Let's see here. Here you go. Here is video of one Cam Newton riding a scooter on the road today. And, that's definitely Cam by the scooter, definitely Cam by the hat. And there's just some comments about, hey, he's too injured to play, but yet he's riding a scooter. And what is he supposed to do? Is he supposed to only drive his car because his ankle hurts? Now, you also got to keep in mind that Cam lives every bit of a mile from the stadium. Riding a bike with your foot hurt, you're not pedaling it. It's all motorized. If he gets hit, yeah, he could get hurt. But for the most part, I just like to think, it might look bad, but if you lived a half mile from the stadium and you had a motorcycle, a little scooter, would you not ride it? How is he supposed to get? So I feel like some things about this guy are just overly criticized. But moving on. What's number 2? What's number 2 here? Let's pull it up. Big plays. So that's something that you got excited. I think, fans, when we were losing those first 2 games, you got so uptight, deservingly so, because this team has so much potential with so many weapons returning on the offensive side and being in year two, you just wanted to see stuff happen. We hadn't seen big, exciting plays from this team all season long. I mean, Cam was throwing the ball like less than 20 yards for 2 weeks. And to see DJ Moore get I believe it was 52-yard touchdown reception, not get touched, exciting. To see Christian McCaffrey get the line block and give him a hole and see him take off just down the center for, I think, 76 yards. I was really excited to see those big plays, and I think that's something that can rally this team and just make everybody excited. Be a nice bandwagon to get on and treat these guys on to some more good performances. Hopefully another great one coming up in Houston here in week 4. Last but not least, my man Donte Jackson. I'm putting this question out there. Do I consider him a high risk, high reward kind of guy? Something I want to ask Coach Ron Rivera about and have every intention of doing so if I can catch him in the media availability this week. And I say if I can catch him because sometimes, you got to, it shouldn't be too hard for me to catch him. I'm thinking out loud to you guys. But nevertheless, I think I know I was very guilty of last year being one of those people who saw the interceptions that Donte's making, seeing how fast he is, and just being like, wow, this guy's great. But then I was like you, probably watched the Amazon Prime special where you see some more in-depth looks on the team. And you saw that some players took him to the side and say, hey, man, I think your interceptions might be fooling the fans, but you're messing up some other things that are crucial. You got to tighten those things up. Missed tackles, coverage mistakes. I mean, he was doing really bad yesterday, and I applaud Donte. He came back and he was able to get 2 interceptions, and the second one with him going up, just climbing the ladder, was exceptional. So, I'm beginning to think this just may be something that you just live with as part of Donte Jackson, that he's a high risk, high reward guy, and you just hope that he doesn't get into a spell one time where he just goes risk, and has an absolutely nightmarish game. But interested to hear your all's comments on all of these topics. Cam Newton, leave your comments below. Big plays, we're excited to see those big plays. And Donte Jackson, high risk, high reward. Hey, I say I work for you guys, and I mean it, so I always want to get your questions submitted to me, and I will go into that locker room, get those questions answered for you. Someone the other day asked me about Ian Thomas, and I had to look further into it, and you're right, Ian Thomas is just not playing very much at all. Even though he played more, he only played 2 snaps the week before, played about 5 the other day, and he was certainly a player that seemed like he had some potential. So I'm going to try to get some more information about that. If you have a question for the team, for the players, for the coaches, I invite you to leave the comment below. If you're watching first time, subscribe, hit the like button, helps people find out about me. Chris Jenkins for Charlotte Vibe, and I'll see you next time.